Dobro jutro. Ne priča puno hrvatske, ali ona priča. Good morning. I am Sabrina Barroso Silva Lujić.
Dobro jutro, ja sam Sabrina Barroso
Silva Lujić.
Silva
Lujić.
Lujić.
Yeah, I'm Brazilian.
Brazilka sam,
Born in Niterói, in Rio de Janeiro in 1990.
rođena u Rio de Janeiro 90.
And in Brazil, we get our first name,
U Brazilu dobijemo prvo ime,
the surname of your mother,
prezime majke,
surname of your father.
prezime oca.
And then when I got married here,
I onda kad sam se tu udala,
I got the last name of my husband.
dobila sam prezime svoga muža.
And between Croatia and Brazil,
A između Hrvatske i Brazila
you cannot change the name when you get married.
ne možeš promijeniti ime kad se udaš.
Just add the name.
Samo dodaješ još
So
jedan
I normally have problems in the forms that I need to fill in Croatia.
Tako da uglavnom imam problema kad ispunjavam formulare u Hrvatskoj.
So I was born into a Christian family in Brazil.
Rođena sam u kršćanskoj obitelji u Brazilu.
I was always very involved in church,
Uvijek sam bila aktivna u crkvi,
Bible study every Sunday,
proučavanje Biblije svaku nedjelju.
going to church 4 times a week.
Odlazila sam u crkvu 4 puta tjedno.
I was in a Christian school
Bila sam u kršćanskoj školi
and I really like it.
i to mi se sviđalo.
My experience was always very nice,
Moje iskustvo je uvijek bilo lijepo,
but I just realized that I needed really Jesus
ali sam onda shvatila da zaista trebam Isusa.
after I went to college.
I kad sam otišla na faks,
And I started thinking maybe these people are happy.
i počela sam razmišljati, možda su ovi ljudi sretni.
Let me try some things here.
Pokušat ću ovdje neke stvari.
I will continue to go to church.
Nastavit ću ići u crkvu.
I was very religious. But then I realized that just having Christian parents didn't make me a Christian.
Bila sam religiozna, ali sam shvatila da to što imam roditelje za kršćane, da nije dovoljno.
And I realized that actually I needed Jesus.
I shvatila sam da mi je Isus potreban.
I truly needed Jesus.
Zaista mi je bio potreban.
And this was January 2011
I to je bilo u siječnju 2011.
that my prayer was simply, God, I can lose everything in my life, but I don't want to lose you again.
I moja molitva je bila jednostavno, Bože, mogu izgubiti sve u svom životu, ali ne mogu izgubiti tebe.
It was not very easy because my environment, even in college, was completely different than that.
Nije mi bilo lako jer moje okruženje i na faksu je bilo potpuno drugačije.
I'm a geologist.
Ja sam geologinja
It's very rare to find a Christian geologist.
i vrlo je rijetko naći kršćanina geologa.
No teacher, no professor there was a Christian.
Nijedan profesor nije bio kršćanin.
No, I think 1 or 2 of my colleagues were like really believing God.
Možda 1 ili 2 mojih prijatelja na faksu su vjerovali u Boga.
But I remember that there was a verse in that Paul tells Timothy that we can be bold.
Ali sam se sjetila stiha koji je Pavao rekao Timoteju da možemo biti odvažni.
And I just trust God to do that.
I jednostavno sam vjerovala Bogu da će to učiniti.
And more I saw how this was the most important thing in my life.
I sve više mi je bilo jasno da je to najvažnija stvar u mom životu.
Didn't matter what my colleagues would think
Nije bilo važno što će moji kolege misliti.
or who else could say anything, because
Bilo tko drugi.
I had this conviction,
Jer ja sam imala ovo
and this
presvjedočenje.
is all that I had.
I to je sve što sam imala.
And I started reading more the Bible
Počela sam više čitati Bibliju
and reading the biography of Christian people,
i čitati biografije kršćana.
George Miller, like John Wesley, and all these men doing great things for God.
George Miller i Wesley i svi ovi Božji ljudi koji su činili velika djela za Boga.
And I said, I want something deeper.
I rekla sam, želim nešto dublje.
I told God, you gave everything to me.
Rekla sam Bogu, sve si mi dao.
I really want to give my life completely to you.
Stvarno želim sav svoj život dati tebi.
And then I read other biographies of missionaries that came to Brazil
Ja sam čitala biografije misionara koji su došli u Brazil
from Sweden.
iz Švedske.
And I said, like, I want to bring the gospel to other places too.
I razmišljala sam, ja želim donijeti evanđelje u druga mjesta.
We have such a big privilege to have a country that we have so many churches.
Privilegija je biti u zemlji koja ima toliko crkava.
I can buy a Bible in any color in Brazil.
Ja mogu kupiti Bibliju u bilo kojoj boji u Brazilu.
Whatever style you want.
U bilo kojem stilu.
We translate a lot of Christian books.
I prevodimo puno kršćanskih knjiga.
And I started realizing that this was not the reality in many places.
I onda sam shvatila da to nije realnost u mnogim mjestima.
And apart from my work as a geologist,
I osim mog posla kao geologinja,
I was leading the mission department in my church.
Vodila sam odjel,
Mission department, like missiology.
Aha, odjel za misije.
Yeah, za mission. And I was volunteer with missionary organizations.
I volontirala sam u misionarskim organizacijama.
And then everything was going okay.
I sve je išlo dobro.
My plan was to be a missionary in Middle East.
I moj plan je bio da budem misionarka.
Using geology, like going with my work.
A geologiju bih usput radila.
But then the doors didn't open.
Ali ta vrata se nisu otvorila.
And in 2019, in July,
I u
2019?
2019.
Yeah.
U
Srpnja. I'm learning the months in Croatian. It's not easy. Je težak mjesec u Hrvatskoj. Yeah, okay. And then it was a conference for geologists.
Bila sam na konferenciji za geologe
in Ireland.
U Irskoj.
And there was a day free. A free day that I got, I went to a day trip.
I na slobodan dan sam otišla na izlet.
And on the same bus there was this tall man.
Na tom autobusu je bio jedan visoki muškarac.
And we start talking about PhDs.
I počeli smo razgovarati.
I was praying that time. I was praying God. I was 29 years old. And then my prayer was, God, what do you want with my life?
I u to vrijeme sam imala 29 godina i moja molitva je bila, Bože, što ti želiš od moga života?
Do you want me to get married?
Želiš li da se udam?
Do you want me to go for a PhD?
Želiš li da radim na doktoratu?
What do you want?
Što želiš?
And I had a purpose. I said, I will pray and fast for this for 3 weeks.
I rekla sam, za ovo ću moliti i postiti 3 tjedna.
The funny story that one day later I met one guy.
I jedan dan kasnije srela sam čovjeka.
And he is talking about Croatia.
I on priča o Hrvatskoj.
Bosnia.
Bosni.
He was living in Ireland for 3 months.
Živio je u Irskoj 3 mjeseca.
But he was actually living in Vienna.
Ali zapravo živi u Beču.
And I didn't care.
I mene nije bilo baš briga.
But we was talking about like his studies and like things about that.
Ali pričao je o svom studiju i takvim stvarima.
It was very interesting.
Bilo je zanimljivo.
I was talking also about history with him. That's very nice.
Pričali smo o povijesti, bilo je lijepo.
But I went back to Brazil and to je to.
Vratila sam se u Brazil i to je to.
We just shake hands, done.
Rukovali smo se i oprostili.
But then during pandemic we start talking.
Ali tijekom pandemije ponovo smo počeli razgovarati.
And we spent 18 months talking.
I 18 mjeseci smo proveli razgovarajući.
Long story short.
I da skratim dugu priču.
I want to know what he believes.
Htjela sam znati u što on vjeruje.
So we had a lot of discussions.
Tako da smo imali puno rasprava.
We read the Bible together. We started reading the Bible together.
Zajedno smo čitali Bibliju.
Reading Christian books together.
Zajedno smo čitali kršćanske
Praying
knjige.
together.
Molili zajedno.
We would disagree.
I nismo se slagali u svemu.
Because there was too many traditions in him.
Jer bilo je previše tradicija tu.
But at some point he started giving up.
Ali u jednom trenutku on je počeo odustajati.
And before we met in person again,
I prije nego smo se ponovo našli oči u oči,
I had a list of things that I would never do.
Ja sam imala listu stvari koje nikad ne bih napravila.
Including get married where he wanted me to get married, if get married.
Ne bih udala tamo gdje se on htio vjenčati.
But we met again in 2021 at the end of the year.
Ali ponovo smo se našli 2021.
And I want to briefly mention the first time I came to Croatia was February 2022.
I želim kratko spomenuti prvi put kad smo došli u Hrvatsku je bila veljača 2022.
And God put in my heart two passages in the Bible.
I Bog mi je stavio na srce ove dijelove Biblije.
It was Romans 12 verse 2.
Rimljani 12, drugi stih.
You want to read? Yeah.
Rimljani 12:2. I ne suobličujte se ovom svijetu, nego se preobrazujte obnavljanjem svoga uma, da biste mogli ispitati što je volja Božja, što je dobro i ugodno i savršeno.
And this part was very strong to me the first time that I came to Croatia.
I ovaj dio je vrlo snažno mi govorio prvi put kad sam došla u Hrvatsku.
We were dating.
Izlazili smo tada.
He was moving back to Croatia.
I on se odlučio vratiti u Hrvatsku.
But God made me very clear
ali Bog mi je jasno rekao
that I could not conform.
Da se ne mogu suobličiti.
I need to really live His will.
Moram živjeti njegovu volju.
And then also in 2 Corinthians 4, but I will not read because it's long.
U drugoj Korinčanima 4.
But when it says that people are blind,
kaže da su ljudi slijepi,
and they cannot see
i da ne mogu vidjeti
the revelation of Jesus.
Otkrivenje Isusa.
I was impressed with how many Christian signs there are in this place, in this country.
Sorry?
Like Christian signs. Like
Aha, i bila sam impresionirana time koliko ima kršćanskih znakova u ovoj zemlji.
But when I was talking with people, I could not see that.
Ali kad sam razgovarala s ljudima, to nisam mogla vidjeti.
And then I went back to Brazil.
Onda sam se vratila u Brazil.
He visited me.
On me posjetio.
Proposed.
Zaprosio me.
In July we got married, civil wedding in Croatia.
U srpnju smo se vjenčali u Hrvatskoj.
We celebrating his hometown Livno.
Slavili smo u njegovom gradu Livnu.
In November we got married in Brazil.
I u studenom smo se vjenčali u Brazilu.
And I moved here.
I onda sam se preselila ovdje.
And then this verse in Romans 12 became very real to me.
I onda je ovaj stih u Rimljanima 12 postao vrlo stvaran za mene.
Because I didn't want to conform.
Jer nisam se htjela suobličiti.
I want to stand for the truth.
Htjela sam stajati na istini.
And some people would come to me
I neki bi mi ljudi došli
and said, you don't accept Croatia.
I rekli, ti ne prihvaćaš Hrvatsku.
And I said, it's not that.
I ja sam rekla, ne radi se o tome.
I moved here.
Preselila sam se ovdje.
I'm trying to learn the language.
Pokušavam naučiti jezik.
But there is one thing in my life that no one can change.
Ali postoji jedna stvar u mom životu koju nitko ne može promijeniti.
You can change my country.
Mogu promijeniti zemlju.
You can change my language that I'm speaking.
Mogu promijeniti jezik.
But you cannot take from me Jesus.
Ali ne možete mi uzeti Krista.
And I believe in His word.
I ja vjerujem u njegovu riječ.
And this is what I follow.
I to je ono što slijedim.
And unless it's aligned with His word,
I zadnje je živjeti po njegovoj riječi.
I will not do that.
Pardon, kompromitirati se, to neću napraviti.
And I'm very glad to look back.
I drago mi je kad se prisjećam prošlih stvari.
And see that His mercy and His goodness and His strength really helped me to go through these things.
I vidim da su njegova milost i njegova snaga mi pomogli da prođem kroz sve ovo.
I come from a very good family in Brazil.
Dolazim iz jako dobre obitelji.
Not perfect.
Nije savršena.
I had a good life.
Imala sam dobar život.
I don't believe that I came here to run away from anything.
I ne mislim da sam došla tu kako bih pobjegla od nečega.
And just to get married.
I samo da bi se udala.
I love my husband.
Volim svoga muža.
He is amazing.
On on je divan.
But I believe that there is a purpose that I'm here.
Ali vjerujem da postoji svrha što sam tu.
And I hope to be faithful to what God has for us.
I nadam se biti vjerna svrsi koju Bog ima za nas.
And to serve the way that He wants me to serve others.
I služiti drugima onako kako on to želi.
I believe this church is a big blessing for us, for me and my husband.
Vjerujem da je ova crkva veliki blagoslov za mene i moga muža.
Thank you so much for receiving us.
I hvala vam na dobrodošlici.
Amen.